wrestling fans? Welcome to the 5-year anniversary episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside Podcast. I am Joe Panther, third. And man, oh man, 5 years of this hot garbage. No, I'm just kidding. This beautiful baby that I started 5 years ago today with my former co-host. We started out as a pre and post show for WWE content and AEW content and anything that we were getting through this little boggle brain of the two of us. We started out us just yelling at each other on the phone, and I said he wants to do a podcast. I'm like, my phone was actively dying, computer was actively dying, and then we interviewed Foxy, and then eventually Kiara, Alfie, Shorty, blah 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 blah. And now I have a young lady that is helping me open up the 5-year anniversary episode. Introduce yourself to my internationally known audience.
Hello, my name is Lilith Locke. I am the Vampire Queen, of course, and I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And let's go back to the beginning of your, I would say I call it this is like my favorite thing is your Marvel wrestling story. What was that moment that you got that slash in it that started this whole wrestling journey for you?
Yeah, so I think I actually have kind of a weird story compared to a lot of people. I feel like when I talk to other wrestlers, it's always, I grew up with this. I always knew I wanted to be a wrestler. They watched it since they could remember. I literally did not watch wrestling until I was, let me do the math here, 21, 22 years old, because it would have been 22, because it would have been 2020. So it was COVID, not a whole lot going on. Which is such a weird time to get into, especially WWE, because there was no live crowd. So I was watching probably what a lot of people would consider one of the worst eras of WWE. And that's when I got into it.
I would get so mad watching WWE. I felt I was happy for my buddy Justin because he got a chance to be ringside with on his webcam, but I found it really awkward watching wrestling at that point. I don't know about you.
Yeah. And you had the sea of just the webcam faces. Yeah. It was definitely weird. But I think what really drew me in at that time was they were doing a lot of very specific story-based things. What really drew me in at the time was Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt and all the really creative things they were doing there, which didn't always work, but I didn't even know that was something that wrestling could be.
Yeah. Awesome. So how long did it take you to figure out that you wanted to be on the other side of the ropes?
So I've always kind of been one of those people that I didn't want to watch things. I wanted to be a part of it. That was just always how I've been. And it wasn't very long after watching and becoming a fan that I was like, no, I want to do that. I've always been around, or at least in some sort of entertainment. And then I wanted to be a stunt person for a while too. And I've also been a theater kid. I feel like I have a lot of theater kid energy. So it kind of just perfectly blended all those worlds together.
Awesome. So my question for you is, when did you find the school?
So I originally found the school that I went to, which I went to Ohio Pro Wrestling Academy out of Newark. And Newark, I originally found them,
Newark, New Jersey?
Newark, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, Newark, Ohio. And I found them, I want to say very shortly after, I think 2021 is probably when I initially found them. And I kept scheduling a tryout, rescheduling a tryout, like I kept doing that for years. And it wasn't until 2023 that I had a mutual friend reach out to me, and they were like, "Hey, I saw you were sharing some wrestling stuff on Facebook. Are you a wrestler?" And I was like, "Oh no, but like I've considered getting trained. But I just, I keep putting it off. And they're like, well, let me send you where I trained, and go ahead and reach out. They've got a show coming up next week. Go ahead and reach out to James and see what happens." And I mean, I guess you could say the rest is history.
Yeah. So what was the toughest part of the training when you first stepped through the doors?
Whew. I've kind of shared a little bit about this on Instagram. So my training took 2 years. I started in February of 2023. I just got cleared Valentine's Day of this year.
Wow.
So I'm still very green, still very new. And a lot of it was mental health. A lot of it was anxiety. I tried to quit more times than I can count. And I'm so grateful for the trainers that I had and the other wrestlers at that school, because they would not let me quit. I tried so many times and they're like, we're not going to let you quit. And it was difficult. Like, I think the mental side of it was way harder than the physical side.
That's the hardest part, I think, for you guys, the mental, because most people think, oh, you guys, if they're not on the wrestling side of it, like you guys, I'm just a fan, but I talk a lot to a lot of you wrestlers, and everybody thinks it's so easy to be a wrestler. For you, does it take a lot out of you being like in front of all those fans in one day? Do you like have to go into like the next day, go into like a bubble and just unwind from all the excitement and stuff like that?
So it did when I first started. Actually, right before I started training, I was almost diagnosed with agoraphobia.
Oh my gosh.
They said like I was like 2 criteria off from actually fitting the diagnosis. I was afraid to leave the house. I was so anxious when I was out in public. I was a shut-in. I was super anxious all the time. And through wrestling, I genuinely have become a different person. Like, I love it now. I feel excited by it. I don't really feel like I have to like unplug from it and like decompress. And there's definitely times where I do, but I think for the most part, I am energized by it.
Mm. So, what or who helped you get this idea of the Vampire Queen?
I came into training, and normally like your first or second day, they'll be like, so what kind of gimmick do you have in mind? And I was like, I don't know, like I haven't really thought much about it. And they're like, well, what do you like? And I was like, well, I like horror movies. I like vampires. I've always kind of gravitated towards like the dark and the spooky. That's just who I am. And they're like, well, you're so pale, you pretty much glow in the dark, and you have dark hair. Run with the vampire thing.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Like you said in the promo picture that you actually sent, you didn't actually have gear yet. What did it feel like when you got your promo picture? And it looks absolutely stunning. I was like, it fit you with the wine glass and your eyes. As I said, it felt like I went into a sea of darkness. I was like, well, she got me. Fuck, she never stared.
That fake blood concoction that I have in there is the nastiest thing I have ever done. So I used to actually do special effects makeup, and I was also a haunt actor, but I didn't have a lot of the supplies that I would normally use. So it is the grossest concoction of Kool-Aid and cocoa powder. And
Ugh.
as soon as I took the pictures where I actually like had it in my mouth, I was like, we're done. This is the last photos we're doing of this shoot because this is nasty.
You couldn't just, oh my gosh, you couldn't just get Strawberry Crush and put it in the glass?
I was so last minute thinking about like props and stuff. I got the wine glass from Dollar Tree and I made the blood concoction like that morning and put it in a plastic water bottle and put it in the fridge.
See, this is why we should have met each other before this. I should have went through a time machine and then came, Stewie Griffin got the little, like, pops open and the blue light comes out. I just step through a wall and you're just like, I grab your arm like this. You're like, why are you touching me? Hi, I'm Joe. Who are you? I don't know who, Joe. I don't know you. You will know me on the date of March 18th at 8 p.m. But we're just going to keep that in the back of your mind. You're going to be a wrestler one day. But I'm touching your arm because I'm giving you an idea. Go over to the rack, sweetheart, and grab that Strawberry Crush. You're right there. See that right there? As I'm grabbing your hand. See that? Grab that. Don't drop the cocoa. Put that back on the shelf. And don't make yourself throw up in your mouth when you're drinking this drink you're about to do. Get the crushed soda, put it inside the glass, and not have diarrhea later. We're good.
The Kool-Aid itself, because I was like, oh, the Kool-Aid will work. It'll be fine. It wasn't thick enough. That was the problem I had. So I was like, I have to add something to make this thicker. And normally I would have used like glycerin. Who normally just has glycerin in their house unless you're a special effects artist? Or
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, you use it for baking. I don't know what you actually bake with glycerin. Someone that bakes, but I don't know what you actually use it for.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like you took a zip of it and it's like that TikTok. It all went wrong.
It was so nasty. I immediately had to run to the sink and spit it out. It was so gross.
Oh no. Ugh. So what was it like to do your first match?
Ooh, so my very first match. So my school was doing like showcase shows. So they were just like little gym shows. Maybe 10, 15 people. And it was specifically for students that were kind of like on the edge of being cleared and being able to go out and take bookings. My very first match was with Aaron Daniel Norman, and I was so nervous. And he tried to teach me a Joshi forearm Joshi forearm right before the match. I had never done one before. I miscalibrated it in the match, hit him in the jaw so hard that it sounded like a thigh slap.
Oh God.
I have the video somewhere. It's hilarious. He said it fixed his toothache.
Oh God.
He's one of my best friends too. Like we laugh about it, we joke about it, but I was like, this is why you don't teach me something like 5 minutes before we go out.
No, bad vampire.
It was so funny though. Like I still clip that to this day, and I put it on my TikTok probably like 3 separate times because it was.
Oh
like I said, he's one of my best friends, so we get to joke about it.
If you could find it, definitely send it to me on Instagram. I have to watch it.
Or 100%.
If it's a video that's already on your Instagram, collab with me, and I have so I can come on my Instagram page or tag me, put it in your story, and then tag me and say this is what I was talking about. Got fans.
Yeah, I'll have to find it because like
you could even do this. You could take the clip from this episode. We were just talking about, you were talking about the thing, and take it, make it into a side-by-side clip of the episode.
Oh, yeah, like a little stitch kind of thing. Yeah, I'll have to. I know I have it on my TikTok. I'll have to see if I've got it on my Instagram or not.
Tic Tac, as they call it, the Tic Tac. So you're currently on hiatus because you were hurt during a match. Like, do you remember the moment when the horrible moment happened and you got injured?
So, yes and no. So when it happened, I didn't really think that it was that bad. My trainers thought that I had actually hit my head or my neck, is how I guess it looked, was that it looked more like I came down on my neck, which would have been way worse. But it was my shoulder, ended up being my collarbone. But as soon as it happened, because it was in a practice match, like luckily this didn't happen on a show. It wasn't like any huge thing. It happened in a practice match. And as soon as it happened, I sat there for a second, and then we're like, no, we need to stop. We need to stop. I sat there for a solid like 20, 30 minutes afterwards, just almost in shock more than anything. And they were just talking like nobody knew how bad it was. Nobody knew that I had broken something. We thought I jarred it or something. And then I go to like try and get out of the ring, and I can't. I cannot move my right arm at all.
Oh God.
And my trainer, Tommy Chill, he actually just got back from both of his rotator cuffs he had to have surgery on. And so that's what we thought it was, the way that I was explaining it. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go home. I'm just going to relax. It should be fine in the morning. Or like if it's worse in the morning, then I'll go to the doctor. I think it's fine. I get into my car. I can't fasten my seatbelt. I can barely start my car. I'm like, I have to go to the ER right now. So luckily the ER was only like a block away from the school. It wasn't far. So I drove there. They did x-rays, and they're like, this isn't looking good. You broke your clavicle, and it's pretty bad. Luckily, it was a clean break. It broke in one spot. There's not like multiple pieces. I'm on, I think, week 4 now. And it's healing well. So, you know.
Oh, man. So what is your rehab like? Because I know when wrestlers get hurt, they can still train, but it's like a little like is it nerve wracking to train while you're actually still hurt?
So I have not been doing anything in ring. Currently, I want to just kind of take it slow. Right now, I'm able to take it out of the sling and just stretch it, because all of the muscles have atrophied at this point because it's been in a sling for 4 weeks. So I'm just having to take it out, stretch it out. I don't know where it is, but I have a little Snorlax squishmallow that I like put in my right hand to kind of like tighten the muscles. And after I go back to the doctor next week, after that, I should be able to be out of the sling at home, and then in the sling when like out and about and at work. And then probably another 2 weeks, I'll be out of it full time. But starting next week, they want me to start focusing on building strength back up. So I'm going to go from benching over 100 pounds to 1 pound weights, just trying to get those muscles back. So that'll be fun. Definitely humbling to just kind of have to rebuild it all back up.
Yeah, I want to send you the speediest recovery, because I know it must be rough on you because you can't actually go into the ring and do anything. Have you been actually still going to the shows to sit and watch?
Yeah, so I still go to practice every once in a while. I haven't gone the past couple weeks just because of my work schedule, but I'm actually going down to Spot Monkey Friday, which is down in like the Cincinnati area. I know, great name for a promotion, by the way. I believe they actually started off as they were like a charity event, I think, for their first.
Is that they're in logo Gorilla? Like, I've seen that logo, I think, right?
Yeah.
Not dissing. I definitely would like to work with them into the podcast, have them as their promoter or their owner as a guest. Not dissing. The logo looks different to me. Even the name sounds kind of cool. Me.
Yeah, I last time I was down there, I got to meet Jack Vaughn, Danhausen. They were working there. A lot of the other people I knew. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with WTF with Bruce Gray, Ron Mathis, Tyler Vox. They're all good friends of mine, as well as Warhorse, Pat the Bruiser, and Crosshairs Kelly. They actually trained at my school. So I'm gonna go down there Friday, just hang out. You know, I still love being around it. It's still, like I said earlier, something I love and something that I get a lot of joy from.
Awesome. And you got cursed by Danhausen, so it's okay.
I was gonna say, I guess we can blame him for this. It just took like a year for the curse to actually.
Did he actually go, "You've been cursed"? Did he curse you?
No, I was gonna say that was, I think, the second time I've met him. Super proud of everything he's doing. He's a great dude. I think, you know, with the turnaround that he's had in WWE so fast too, like, people didn't know who he was to now he's my dad's favorite wrestler. So, like, my dad had no idea who he was. And then my dad was like, "Have you seen this Danhausen guy before? I'm obsessed with him. He's so funny." And I was like, "Dad, I told you about him like a year ago."
And it was so funny because, like, he went from being on AEW, and my friend was at the show. He debuted in Chicago, and he was like, "It was not good, man. They booed him so hard. It was so bad. It was so bad. He got booed so hard."
But, I was telling everyone, I was like, give him a chance. Give him a chance, and people are gonna love him. And I'm really glad of everything he's doing. I think I love the super gimmick heavy wrestlers, and we don't get to see that on TV as much. So,
like, back in the day, that was a hardcore thing. Like this one guy. Have you ever think about going to Florida and going to CCW? You have to meet Gangrel, the Vampire King.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Have you ever thought of, since you're back, have you thought of going, like, traveling around the country to, like, PA, to Florida, places like that?
Yeah, like I said, I do go out to Pittsburgh. I don't really go to the east side of Pennsylvania too much. I mean, that's like an 8-hour drive, I think, from me to like Philly. I was just talking earlier with my roommate. I was like, Pittsburgh, 3-hour drive. Philly, like 8 hours.
Where I live, you should look. I'll have to send you my old home address to see how far away it is. You'll be like, "Joe, that's like an 18-hour drive, bro. You better be worth it." Like,
yeah, and then I actually used to live in Florida, and I've considered moving back there. I mean, the wrestling in Florida is great. So, I mean, obviously you've got the WWE Performance Center, but then you've got so many like great indie promotions down there.
CCW, they got, oh my gosh, they got, it's like, instead of raining men, it's raining indies. Hallelujah. Raining indies.
Yeah, I've been definitely, like I said, I'm kind of still pretty green, getting used to things. Kind of sucks that the injury happened a week after I got cleared. So I only had 2 matches, like official matches, before I got injured.
Oh man.
I had the match that I got cleared with, which was at Buckeye Championship Wrestling, which is a promotion that my trainer James Avery runs. And then I did one in Parkersburg, West Virginia, at Mountain Mama Wrestling. I did a match there, and then I got injured literally the next day at training.
No.
Yeah. So, you know, it was a little discouraging at first, but a lot of wrestlers I know personally got injured as soon as they started or right before they got cleared. So, you know, maybe it's just like a rite of passage at this point.
Yeah, that's sad. But if my fans want to follow you on social media, or they want to pick up any of your awesome like homemade merch, where can they find it?
Yes. So all my social media is Lilith Locke, Locke with an E. I believe my Instagram one has an underscore in the middle of it, but it should still come up regardless. My merch, I am planning on finding a way to set it up to sell online. But like I said, I do make and design every single thing that I sell myself, with the help of my dad, because my dad owns the Cricket. But so any show that I'm at, I will have it. Also, I know I've had a couple people reach out that, like, if I don't have their size, color, specific design that they're wanting, I've had them message me on Instagram, send me your information, and I can get it sent out.
Awesome.
So, you know, trying to be accommodating with that as possible, because like I do make everything myself, so it sometimes takes a minute.
Yeah, it's all good. I understand that. It's really hard with you guys doing your own things. Like, I sometimes I feel for you guys because you guys, like you do, you make your own stuff. Your dad has the cricket. You make your own pins. Like, there's people that don't even make their own merch. It's like they send it off to some other person. You do it, little man, little peasant guy in the corner. Make my match. I'm like,
yeah, I kind of decided, like, I kind of wanted to go like a punk rock kind of vibe with it and like just DIY everything. I was originally gonna make my own gear. That did not end up working out as well as I wanted it to. So I just bought some in stock stuff, and then I'm probably gonna end up making something later.
yeah. Before we go, if you could write a letter to a young Miss Locke, what would you say to yourself in that letter?
I would honestly, if I was sitting down with like 10-year-old me, I'd be like, you're never going to believe the direction that your life is going to go. I know you think you're going to be a vet. I know you think you're going to end up going to the Olympics for equestrian sports. Like, you're going to be this like Olympic eventing rider. Just see where life takes you, because it's going to be a much wilder ride than you could ever anticipate.
Lilith, I want to thank you so much for coming on the anniversary episode of Dudes at Ringside. It really means a lot to have a young star to have come on the episode again. I wish you nothing but a speedy recovery.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see the first clips back in your first match. Definitely tell your wrestling friends. I definitely want to work with more of your friends, some more people from your school that you're at. I am Joe Panther the Third. Your turn.
I am Lilith Locke,
the Vampire Queen, and we will catch you in the next one. Thank you for joining me on my 5-year anniversary.
Thank you.